Greetings, welcome to a Deckard Games YouTube thing. Today we are going to do CPR, cartridge programming and repair. That's the best name I could come up with, so I'm open to suggestions to this new show on the channel. And today we are going to try and fix a game from a viewer, a supporter of the channel, Nuno Nóbrega, and he sent this game that he likes, and the game is not working. But before we address the game itself, I want to talk a little bit about this case. How cool is that? A tiny little case. I've never seen anything like this, and this is awesome. I would like to know where he got this, because this would be awesome for my repros to put them in a nice clamshell case. I have to know where you've got this. And the game itself is Comix Zone on the SEGA Mega Drive. It tells me that this game is not working before we attempt any kind of repair or whatever. Let's see if this is working or not. Let's try it on a working system and check it out. So here we have our Comix Zone cartridge. We have our Mega Drive up and running, so let's see if this works or not. We have nothing. Let's try it again. Yep. It's not showing anything. The system is working, yeah, so this is pretty much not working, so let's open it up and see what we can do with it. So yeah, the game is pretty much not working. The first thing to do, let's open up the cartridge and take a look inside. And for Genesis games or Mega Drive, you want to use a 4.5mm security bit, also known as a game bit, because it's used mainly for games. When he reached out to me, he sent some pictures along with the message, and it didn't look okay, but in a photograph you can never tell, but he had some signs of corrosion and stuff like that. So here we have our PCB. We have some corrosion in there. Nothing major. I think we have a cut in here. Some broken traces maybe. At the front, everything looks okay, I guess. It's kind of cleaned. No major issues. But I'm not sure. We're going to check it out in a minute. I think these traces, I don't know if you can see or not, this cut in the PCB, I think these maybe 2, 3, maybe 4, these one over here too, maybe they are broken and no data is coming from the EEPROM. The trace is not completing the circuit. So let's give it a quick clean and maybe check the traces first, if they are working or not. So let's clean it first. So I'm just using 99% alcohol. You can use regular alcohol, you can use a 1-up card, whatever cleaning solution you have. You're not going to damage the cartridge unless you are using some kind of metal polish or something like that. And yeah, it's pretty much clean. These are just signs of some corrosion or something like that. And yeah, we can pretty much see the broken traces, I guess. This one here, don't know if it will cut up on camera or not. These traces here, I think they are gone, so let's test it first before we pop out the ROM and do a board swap, because I kind of wanted to leave the original board since he likes this game so much. I don't want to use a different board. I have a few laying around, but if I can, I would like to salvage this original board. So yeah, let's do some testing on the PCB first. So the thing that we are going to do is to check for continuity on the board, to see if data is coming out from the ROM into the pins on the board that go into the system. And if it beeps, we are all good. If it doesn't beep, then that means a broken trace. So let's try and check it out. I'll have to do this behind the camera, which is always a hassle, as you know. You can hear it beeping. That means data is good. Pin number 2, okay. Okay. The one that worries me is on this side, but we'll get there. Okay. So far so good. Oh, where was I? In here. Okay. Okay. So this is the one that starts to worry me. Yep. Nothing's going on here. Okay, second one. Another one that is dead. Okay. Third. Yeah, it's like pretty much like I suspected. Ah, crap. Let's mark them. So this one is not working. This one is not working. This one is not working. We can clean this up at the end with some alcohol. No major problems. So let's continue. This one goes to here. This one is working. And this one here, not working. This one goes to the top, also not working apparently. Let's mark these two. So this one is working, this one is not working, and this one also not working. This one goes to here. Crap. Yep, not working also. This one is working. Let's mark the other one. This one is not working too. Let's check this one again. Working. This one is also working. another one not working. Let's mark it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one goes in here. This one's not working either. Well, we have a lot of pins not working. Holy crap. This one goes in here. Nope. Let me follow the trace. This one goes to this one. Not working. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pins not working. This will be quite the work, but again, I want to try and keep this board. We're gonna try and bridge the pins with the PCB before we try any board swap. So yeah, let's try and make some bridges. So I've marked all the pins on the ROM and on the PCB that are not working. Somewhere down the line the traces are just broken. And the thing that we are going to do, for example in this pin that goes from here to this one, we are going to try and solder a wire from the pin on the ROM to the pin on the PCB, or connector on the PCB that connects into the system. For that we are going to place some solder on top of the PCB connector. We have to try and make it as on top as possible, because we can't put it in the middle, we can't put it in the bottom, because this has to go into the slot and the solder would interfere with that. So we have to try and get as close to the top as possible, if and only if we have some metal to work with the solder. This one is probably the worst. As you can see, there is no metal in here, only if a tip on the left side. But again, yeah, let's try the first one. Let's do the first and then check for continuity on the first after we place the wire. And if it works, well, if it works, we are going to try the others and see how it goes. And for that we are going to use some wire, of course, obviously, and we are going to cut the wire on the length that we need, something like this, a little more, just to have some room to work with. I'm just using some regular scissors, and we expose a little of the wire, a little bit, so we can solder it, something like that, focus, dang it, like that. And we are going to do something like this, the bridge that goes from the pin to the PCB, and see how it goes. First, let's thin this amazing length of wire. This is like 1 centimeter, something like that, and see how it goes. So by thinning the wires, what I mean is you expose the wire, you grab some solder, and you just place it on the wire like that, so it doesn't move around. And when we go and solder it to the PCB or to the pins, it already has some solder in it. That way it's easier, at least for me. So next step is to solder this extraordinary wire into our board, which is not going to be easy, especially behind the camera, but what the heck. We are gonna try it and do it anyway, because we don't give up that easily. Crap. So I think we have a lot of extra wire. Let's see if this worked or not. Well, apparently it is working. So yeah, let's try some other. This one. Yeah, that's a little bit too much, but unfortunately we don't have any more metal, so we'll have to work it like this. Let's hope this doesn't interfere with the slot on the system. So let's try and route this cable from here to here. Something like that. Let's cut it. Where's my scissors? Where are you? Oh, here you are. Okay. Can we do this without ruining it? I'll do it off camera. Something like that. Just a little bit of wire exposure. Maybe a little bit more. So yeah, let's try and solder this into place. Ah, dang it. Hold it there, something like that. The heat from the soldering iron melts the plastic on the wire. Ah. It came off. Oh, this is going quite well. So small. Wire is getting hot. What? Let's just press it down. something like that. Yeah, it is not the best thing, but it's what we can work with. Oops. So this one seems to be also working. So this is the end result. As much as I would like to show you each and every step on camera, I had to do a few things off camera because I couldn't find the right angle behind the camera. And we basically wired all the pins that weren't connecting. There was no continuity on them, and we've checked all the pins. They now all have the continuity. The data is coming from the ROM to the board itself. Now there were a few pins, especially this third one, where I didn't have any metal on the pin above this to put it a little bit more close to the green part of the PCB. So we won't be able to push the cartridge all the way down into the slot. We have to be careful with that, and no, you also have to be careful with that. You can't push the cartridge all the way down if this works. So let's grab our PCB. We don't need to put it on the clamshell, the shell. We can take the PCB and test it on our system. Let's see if this worked or not. So here we have our board, our Frankenstein board. Again, we won't be able to push it all the way down into the system, but what the heck. Let's see if this worked or not, or if we'll have to do some kind of board swap. Again, it doesn't go all the way down. Fingers crossed. It's alive! It's alive! Awesome! So apparently we got it working. Now you have this Frankenstein of a board. And I gotta be honest with you, I didn't think this was going to work because a lot of metal is missing on the pins on the PCB. A lot of wiring, some corrosion and stuff like that. I wasn't very confident, so we got a working game. Let's put it back in our cartridge without forcing. Let's see if this will close. I completely forgot about that. So the cartridge will not close until the very end. As you can see, the wires are in the way, but well, you win some, you lose some. That's the way it is. At least it works, so I'm okay with that. So we got this one working. It was a lot of work with all those broken traces, but we were able to salvage the original board. If it fails in the future, we can do a simple board swap, since we now know that the ROM is working properly. And how cool is that? We started with a broken Comix Zone and ended up with a working one. And Comix Zone is such a classic on the system, so I'm very happy we got it working. I hope this video is helpful to those who are trying to fix some broken video games, and if you need any help, I'm glad to be of some assistance. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel because it's always appreciated. As always, thank you very much for watching this, and until my next video, take care.